I did not expect to see all of you guys twice today. Hope you guys all enjoy. Welcome back, of course, to CSGO News. All of today's stories will be timestamped down below. Some crazy breaking news. I was honestly willing to wait out the weekend and see you guys on Monday, but here we are yet again, thanks to Rickeh. His article's linked down below. Before we get into Rickeh stuff, though, NiP fans, you might be rejoicing because it seems that Draken, officially by HLTV a couple hours ago, has actually signed with the organization through the end of 2019. Now, why this seems a bit odd is because when they first announced this just 2 weeks ago, Dennis was having energy issues, fatigue issues, and so it'd be a bit odd to think those issues would actually last the full 8 to 9 months. Either way, they locked down a great player who has high potential, especially it seems when he plays on this NiP roster. I don't think many people out there can really argue. Ever since he joined them 2 weeks ago, he has looked nothing but stellar and a great addition for this roster. I wish the best for Dennis in his future, but currently, I don't think anyone could probably argue bringing Dennis back, and that's good because it seems his energy issues are a bit more serious, or his fatigue is a bit more serious than we thought. So NiP so far, a great addition. They have now locked him in through the end of 2019, and that does officially shut down all the rumors for Scream and his team as well. Scream and Draken, they were going to team up and potentially have some things together. That has now been put to an end. It makes a lot of sense now why we've seen rumors around TSM not approaching that trio. It's all really confusing right now. Great for Draken though, as he's now made his quote on HLTV as well, saying it's a big test. It might not be his last test, but it's a big test. And ironically enough, it's actually our next story bouncing off of this. We all know Fallen is the nicest person in the history of CSGO, or at least it seems publicly. He actually had an interview quote come out that was probably taken out of context, so let me preface in saying this is a complete joke. Not necessarily a joke, but actually probably taken at not necessarily the wording he probably meant it to be. So it was actually Fallen who directly said, Draken and Maikelele, the two players that cannot do anything good. Yeah, that was a pretty killer opening line, but if they play on NiP, they are the best players in the world. So first off, again, second off, guys, it's a joke. Obviously, these pro players are not going to take this seriously. A lot of interviews out there take things out of context or misword things. This was the case. Fallen responded with that, as well as, of course, we had Draken and Maikelele also responding. It's a joke, but still, it's funny to see one of the nicest guys out there have a misstep or a misquote like this, although it's probably likely somewhat close to what he was trying to say. And if he actually was trying to mean this quote, I ask you guys this, is he actually wrong? Because I'm not going to get into elaborations here. I've covered Maikelele so much in the past, and Draken as of recently. I think Draken has a lot of potential on any roster, but, you know, given his status with Red Reserve, that was kind of an unfortunate circumstance. We have seen both these players struggle immensely outside NiP, and once they're actually a part of NiP, you know, when Maikelele had his short stints there, we saw some peak performances. So Fallen, whether mean or whether, you know, I guess not so nice, it was kind of true. Don't quote me on that. You definitely took that out of context, you mother frickers. Anyway, bouncing off of that though, probably our biggest story today, one that I was really excited to talk about. We have seen so many rumors out there, nothing fully confirmed as of yet, although it's definitely taking the steps in the right direction so far. Cloud9, Optic, Rogue, all kind of taking players away from each other, tentatively killing those rosters. It has now seemed though a kill has actually finally happened, that being with Rogue, thanks to Rickeh. I will link his article down below for all of you guys. According to that article, it will be Rogue stepping away from CSGO. Now, first off, the immediate response from Hiko saying, despite rumors out there, the 5 of them will continue together for SLTV. That is not really saying much. If anything, it kind of attunes to the truth of this rumor out there that Rogue might be departing CSGO, and this is a huge shock. Now, I will say one thing. This roster has not performed probably to what we not necessarily expected, but what we wanted from them, and with that being said, can you really blame Rogue for leaving? Well, yes, first of all, it's a rarity because this team, this organization, or this 5-man roster under the organization of Rogue had an EPL and an ECS spot for this upcoming season. We rarely see, I mean very, very rarely see an organization drop a roster with both those crucial Pro League and ECS spots. Those are two spots that, if anything, a team wants to get because they want to get signed to an organization. So for Rogue to leave a roster that has those two spots, I think speaks mountains to whatever their future might be, and to me that fully confirms other rumors that MSL and Nico are out the door, and also according to Rickeh, guys, it's going to be Complexity who are now targeting Vice from that roster. This is a deafening blow. Of course, when you look at the past just over a year, maybe 10 to 12 months as well, losing Cadian, losing Rickeh, now MSL and Nico, I can't fully blame an organization. Despite having their Pro League and ECS spots, if you're going to constantly have to lose and gain players and spend that money to acquire new players, it can be be a tiresome process, and that is likely why some sort of financial bound, I imagine, is why they're taking a step away. And that was in just some huge crazy news. Rogue as an organization might be done from CSGO. According to Hiko, though, their roster will continue for at least a short time being. And also, very lastly, if you guys been watching Complexity material or their series, I've been watching over the past few days, it seemed very obvious that Complexity was targeting some kind of change. In my opinion, it would be for Jordan, or aka Nothing, as many of you guys know him, because he's not going to be, in my opinion, a long-term project for this team. And so, in my opinion, get him out of there as soon as possible, get a full, consistent roster who's set to be there for a long time, and that way you can prepare for big events and the upcoming major a few months away. Other rumors out there, it could also be potentially Rickeh, because in my opinion, he is a player that does not fit this roster as of right now. And along with that, according to Jason Lake, he could be having visa issues. So if Vice is signed from Rogue to Complexity, I do expect it for Rickeh or Nothing. I think more likely Nothing, but Rickey's also an option for that roster. It does seem a lot of changes out there happening and rolling out right now, and Rogue has been heavily affected. They might be dead in CSGO. And I'm now going to share with you guys the single best clip. If you follow me on Twitter, you've already seen it, so you can skip past 30 seconds. This is legitimately a clip that makes me so happy and still burst out into laughter. And this is PaszaBiceps. He might be the determining factor to actually get the iBuyPower players unbanned for good.
Let's go, papi. Free swag, free swag, free swag, free swag, free Braxton, free Braxton, free Braxton. All the best swag. Someday, man, they will free you and you will be like a bear flying in the air, man.
Very lastly, in some super weird, I don't even know what to think about this. Maybe I'm taking this way too at a comprehensive level. Maybe I'm looking way too far into it. If you guys been watching me over the past however many years, I look into things a bit too much, because it's fun to look at these things and analyze them way too deep and understand they might be, you know, something happening in the future. That's going to be MiBR announcing their brand new brand ambassador, FNX. No clue. Out of nowhere, obviously been kind of out of commission for quite some time from the professional top CSGO scene. He's been on the bench as well as inactive several times now, and really, we're not really sure the future of this guy in competitive CSGO. It seems the once major winner himself is now done, especially with this signing, although we can say this, we have no idea what plans they have, what contract he signed to be the brand ambassador. It was kind of just weird though, because once this roster was also formed, if you guys remember the drama around this entire roster, it was pretty extenuous. So it was FNX himself actually trash talking the organization when they did first form with this tweet. If you do translate it as well, it does go on to say, if MiBR really comes back, it'll be a joke in my opinion. They are going to end the name that has been well represented. So he lays that out there, and MiBR probably never saw it, but it's kind of been a tweet surfacing as of late, and all of a sudden they're thinking, boom, that's our brand ambassador, man. That's the guy we want to represent the org that he once thought was a joke. So, if you guys want to, you know, be a brand ambassador, you know what to do. But as always, hope you guys all enjoy. My name is Jake. If you guys did, feel free to leave a comment down below, or, you know, maybe even a like. It's great seeing you guys twice in one day. And come Monday, we're gonna have some great news for all of you. So thank you all for watching. I'm curious to see what you guys think about today's stories, because it was a weird video, a lot of controversial stories out there, some strange stories as well, and always curious what your guys' viewpoints are. But as always, hope you guys all enjoy. Take care this weekend, and until next time,